This episode was brought to you by the number 42. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the last episode of the Pokemon Analyst. At least for the summer, alright? I'm not stopping, but for the summer, it's the last episode. So, we're going to make this a good one. We are going to be focusing, especially on the World Championship in Master Division VGC, right? If I'm correct, that happened last Sunday, August 23rd, right? And that happened in Boston, which was, it was nice to watch. And when I heard it, I'm like, ooh, I gotta watch it. So, I had some fun watching that. And I got some information on how these teams actually were built. So, we're gonna take a look at those, and we're gonna analyze those and see what they have, right? So, we're first gonna start with the runner-up, right? Now, Cresselia. We're gonna start with the Cresselia. Pretty meta Pokemon. Actually, a lot of these teams are very meta, so I know a lot of people don't like that, but I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't like fighting Kangaskhan over and over and over and over and over again, or the Landorus or something like that, but they are incredibly powerful Pokemon, so I can see why people use them. It's because they're incredibly powerful. Yeah, okay, they lack a little bit of variety, but they are very, very powerful, and a lot of people win a lot of battles with those kinds of Pokemon, so I can see why. Alright, but anyway, Cresselia. Let's look at these. You got the Citrus Berry, it has the Levitate, and they gave it a modest nature, right? Which works well with its primary attack, which is Psychic. You got the Hidden Power, which I'm not quite sure which Hidden Power it is, but you got the Icy Wind, which is a bit of a speed control. That's why I don't really know what Icy Wind, or what Hidden Power this is. A lot of people use Hidden Power Ice, but he already has an Ice move, so I don't know. But, oh well. So he has the Strong Attack, he has the Hidden Power for a little bit of variety, Icy Wind for speed control, and then the Trick Room. I don't understand why he has a Trick Room. It's not a Trick Room team, right? This team is not a Trick Room team. I mean, sure, maybe the Aegislash, but why would he use a Trick Room team? Maybe it's a anti-Trick Room, the Trick Room that's already been used, right? You have Trick Room on your Cresselia because you need to Trick Room again in order to actually stop the Trick Room from being a Trick Room, right? So you're using double Trick Room to bring it back to normal speed, right? Which is a possibility. And that's probably my biggest guess, right? Then you got the Aegislash, Shadow Ball, Flash Cannon, very, very, very common. It's very common to use these guys. I'm not quite sure why, though. I mean, when I look at my Aegislash, I don't have it. There it is. There it is. Yeah, here it is. King Sword. I have Swords Dance, King Shield, Sacred Sword, and Shadow Sneak, right? It's much more defensive, but it takes a lot of hits, waits for the right opportunity, and then strikes. And that's why it has the weakness policy and things like that. But a lot of these Aegislash are not like that. They're really, you send them in there, first things first, they attack you with, I don't know, a Shadow Ball or a Flash Cannon or things like that, right? Which I'm like, okay. I mean, you can definitely do it, but I don't know. I prefer a little bit more setup on my Aegislash before I start really hitting hard. So, I don't know. But anyway, he has the Shadow Sneak as well, which is priority. Physical type, so it's a bit of a mixed attacker, but I mean that's fine. It's a stab move, and in its blade form, it gets really, really, really powerful. And then you got the King Shield, no explanation required. He gave it a relaxed nature, so increase in its defense while decrease in its speed, right? Making it extra bulky while making sure that it can actually take most of the hits from its shield form, right? So then he can stay in shield form as long as possible, and then when his turn arrives to attack, he uses the Shadow Ball or the Flash Cannon, switches into his blade form. There we go. Looking for the word blade form, and then starts attacking as last, right? He attacks as last so that he can survive the longest, right? So that's why he gave it a relaxed nature. Volcarona That's an interesting story. He has Rocky Helmet and Flame Body. First of all, Flame Body, If hit with a contact-making move, it has 30% chance to actually burn the Pokemon that made contact with Volcarona. And you also lose 1/6 of your max HP with the Rocky Helmet, which is nice. Unexpected, but nice. He has the Flamethrower, Quiver Dance, Protect, and Giga Drain. Flamethrower is a weird choice, because he could have used Fiery Dance, which increases your special attack by 50% of the time. It's also a very good move, 100% accuracy. It works very well. Or he could have used the Heat Wave, which is 90% accuracy, a little less, but it has 95% power, and it's a spread move. So I'm not quite sure why I used the Flamethrower. Maybe to cause the burn a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, the Heat Wave does the same thing. Maybe he just wanted a little bit more accuracy, so I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, Flamethrower is a good move. I'm just wondering why, Flamethrower, not the other move. But I'm pretty sure he had some sort of, he had an idea behind it, right? So I'm not going to judge his methods. Quiver Dance increases special attack, special defense, and speed by 1. An excellent move on Volcarona. You won't see a Volcarona without it. And then you got the Protect and the Giga Drain. Giga Drain works very well, especially after a Quiver Dance. And it recovers 50% of the damage dealt, and especially with a Quiver Dance and against a Water-type move, or a Water-type Pokemon, it's going to do a lot of damage. Because now he can take health away from something that is super effective against Volcarona, right? Because Volcarona is a fire type, so if you face down a water type, it's good to actually be able to take a chunk back from what kind of damage they do to you. So that's why the Giga Drain is there. Thundurus with the Life Orb and the Prankster, right? Now, Life Orb, it's an interesting choice. I wouldn't have made that, but it's an interesting choice. The Thunderbolt is his go-to attack, hidden power, probably ice, but I'm not sure. Taunt works well with a Prankster, and then Protects with a timid nature to make it as fast as possible. Probably EVs were spread into this as much as possible to make it even faster. Yeah, Thundurus, we've all seen them. Let's move on. Kangaskhan. Scrappy ability, has the Kangaskhanite, and with the Scrappy ability, before he Mega Evolves, he can actually hit Ghost types with normal and fighting type moves, so he has even more coverage. The Return, Protect, Sucker Punch, Power Up Punch. He has the Protect, which is interesting. Not a lot of Kangaskhan actually run the Protect. A lot of people run Return, Sucker Punch, Power Up Punch, Fake Out, Low Kick, Double Edge, Frustration, anything like that, right? So it's interesting that he uses Protect. It's not unheard of, but it's a choice that he made. Return, his go-to attack. Sucker Punch, nice for ghosts or anything like that. Power Punch increases Sucker Punch and Return, so it's a good move to have. And he gave it an Adamant nature, which should go without saying, because it's just that's a really nice choice to make, especially with the Kangaskhan. The Kangaskhan really is there just to start hammering away as hard and as fast, well, maybe not as fast, but as hard as possible, breaking those focus sashes, breaking sturdies, and just really starting really hard with the offensive threats, right? And then, talking about offensive threats, the Focus Sash, Intimidate, Adamant, sorry, not Jolly, Adamant natured Landorus T, right? Focus Sash is an interesting choice. I would have gone for maybe an Assault Vest, a Choice Band, or a Choice Scarf, but alright. Earthquake, Rock Slide, Superpower, Protect, right? These three, pretty typical. We've all seen them. Protect a little less, but works well with the Focus Sash. If not, Knock Off, U-Turn. Those would be pretty good as well. Alright, now let's go to the Masters. Actually, you know what? No. Let's see, where are you? There you go. Okay, so this is the charts that I made for the runner-up team. Now, there's only one problem with it. I mean, it has a couple of these, well, problem, I suppose, no, but it has a couple of these particular types which it doesn't use at all. I mean, we all have, but it doesn't use Fairy type, right? He doesn't use a Poison, that's okay, I suppose. He has the normal, He doesn't use a dragon. I mean, I can see why. Dragon has kind of lost its thunder ever since Fairy showed up. But water it doesn't have either. He doesn't even have a water type or a flying type, right? Now, flying type is a little less concerned, but the water type, he does not have a water type in there. And neither does Shoma, right? So it's interesting. Like, you'll see in Shoma, it's a very similar build. And these particular Pokemon, don't get me wrong, excellent. But they lack, I guess, in coverage, right? Which is what I think, am better at. And I'm not trying to rub it in like, hey, I'm better than them, but I think I have more. Because I have the water, I have ice, I have the normal, but also the fairy, I have the grass, the steel, earth, rock, dragon, steel, fire, fighting, dark, I have the water type. I have a lot of these different moves, a lot of coverage, right? These particular masters. Oh, I was already on it. There we go. I'm a dumb. These particular masters, they don't really use coverage. Well, they do, but it's less so, and I think they more depend on their experience, which kind of goes to show how amazing they are in their experience. Incredible at knowing exactly what Pokemon can do what. Predicting very well, and just being all out bosses in just the experience that they have, right? I mean, let's be honest, everyone can make this kind of team, including this one, right? Even the champion, right? But it's really their experience that really gives the clincher. So it's kind of cool to see that, right? But anyway, Kangaskhan, Return, Low Kick, Sucker Punch, Fake Out, Scrappy, Kangaskhanite, Adamant Nature. Heatran, Protect, Substitute. More of a defensive Heatran than that. He doesn't actually have a Steel move, and neither does he have a Poison move, which is interesting. Well, maybe he could have had a Hidden Power. Let me see. He doesn't have Hidden Power there. Okay, so it doesn't have the Hidden Power, but it is. I don't know, it's weird. He doesn't have anything against fairies. I mean, this is his fairy counter, no doubt. Which I guess you can just, kind of put this thing in front of a fairy and just, substitute and then start spamming the Heat Wave or the Earth Power. But even so, I don't know. I would have put a Flash Cannon on it, but oh well. And then you got the Modest Nature, Shuka Berry, which is more common, I think, than an Air Balloon. Air Balloons, they're visible, right? People are like, oh, he has an air balloon. Pop, and then you have no defense. Now, a Shuka Berry can't be taken care of except with a knockoff or maybe a pickpocket or something like that. And it's much harder to actually take care of. I mean, sure, once it's gone, but same thing with an air balloon. So, Shuka Berry, probably better. Let me see. So yeah, a little bit more defensive. Heat Wave, Earth Power, Modest, Shuka Berry. Thunderous with Safety Goggles. Interesting. Probably against enemy Amoonguss, which are very, very common. They run rampant. Rage Powder, Spore, anything like that. Hail or Sand also, it kind of protects it against it. So it's an interesting choice. Safety Goggles, very good. But why on the Thunderous? That's my only question. Why on the Thunderous? Because the Thunderous, Life Orb or Citrus Berry or something like that, most people don't put a Safety Goggles on the Thunderous, so interesting choice. Protect, Thunderbolt, Thunderwave, Swagger. Thunderwave and Swagger work very well with the Prankster, so he uses a little bit more of the Prankster than Hadayuki did, because Hadayuki only had Taunt on his Thunderous, while Shoma had 2, right? And that's very nice, because then you can have priority shutdowns, right? Thunderwave, big shutdown. Confusion, very big shutdown. So that's really starting to have a big part against any of your opponents, right? And he used that as well. Timid Nature, just like before, making it as fast as possible. Landorus T, Jolly Nature, Assault Vest, Intimidate, right? Jolly Nature is an interesting choice because he wants it to be fast. Decreasing its special attack, that's fine. Assault Vest increases its special defense, and he probably put a little bit into its defense and then dumped the rest into its attack. Rock Slide, Earthquake, Superpower, and Superpower Knockoff. There we go. Pretty standard set. The Assault Vest, yeah, that's pretty standard. You got the Rock Slide, good move. Earthquake, good move. Knockoff. I think I might have actually preferred a U-turn in there than a knockoff. Although the knockoff is a very good move, but I don't know. The U-turn may have been a little bit better because then you can switch out, but oh well. Yeah, we've all seen Landorus. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Cresselia, again, Citrus Berry, Levitate, Quiet Nature this time, decreasing its speed, increasing its special attack, alright? Not quite sure why I didn't increase it, or decrease its attack. I don't know. Again with the Trick Room, Protect, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Trick Room. I don't know why he uses the Trick Room. This is the second Cresselia. I mean, they're onto something, and I don't know what, and I kind of want to. I kind of want to know why they actually had the Trick Room in there. Maybe, again, anti-Trick Room, because this is not a Trick Room team, right? So, oh well. The world may never know. Amoonguss. We have the Rocky Helmet, Regenerator. Rocky Helmet's quite common on Amoonguss. Regenerator, also pretty common. Effect Spore is also a pretty good one, but Regenerator is a good one, especially if you want to have a little bit more of a wall. You got the Rage Powder, Spore, Energy Ball, and a Sunny Day. Okay, this one's a bit weird. Like, Showa's team is weird in a way. Like, I don't understand it, and he probably has some sort of genius strategy behind it, but he has the Rage Powder, typical Spore, typical Energy Ball. I would have gone for the Giga Drain, but Energy Ball is still a pretty good move. And the Sunny Day. I'm not getting this wrong. Like, this is where I got my information from. This is Pokemon.com, VGC Masters Division Top 10 Teams. Shoma Honami. See details. Amoonguss, Sunny Day. Okay, why the Sunny Day? But, I don't know, maybe they got that wrong or something, but, I mean, it's not even a Sunny Day team. I mean, look at this. I mean, maybe even, you know, only the Heatron really has the benefit with you know, the Heat Wave being powered by 1.5, but even so, I mean, what? I don't know. Maybe it's kind of anti-weather teams, I suppose. You know, they send out the sandstorm or the hail or the rain, and this Amoonguss can just use the Sunny Day again, and it'll clear up. And then this guy maybe is for the anti-Trick Room because someone uses a Trick Room, and then the Cresselia can use the Trick Room again. So, I don't know. I don't really know what this guy had in mind, but oh well. Again, he's the champion, so I can't really, you know, he's way better than I am, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then he gave him a Relaxed Nature, decreasing its speed, because its speed sucks anyway, and increasing its defense a little bit, which makes sense because its special defense is higher than its defense anyway, so give it a bit of a boost, and it works, I think, a little better that way, a little more rounded, right? So that's kind of what they look like. I am gonna show you. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is a champion chart. Now ignore this particular one right here. That one, he doesn't actually have a poison move. That was my bad, but oh well. Other than that, again, not a water type, no flying, no dragon, no ghost, which is pretty typical as well with the other team. This is Hideyuki, no water, no flying, no dragon, no bug, no fairy either, and this guy also had no fairy, which is interesting. So Showman had no direct counter move-wise against fairy types, which is interesting, but oh well. In any case, I mean, he still had the Heatran, so that's a pretty good counter against it. But anyway, so this is kind of what Shoma's team looked like. We're gonna go kind of quickly between teams, right? So there's a couple of things, a lot of similarities. There's a couple of things around here and there that change. So it really depends on which team. And, you know, these guys are just masters. Like, there are, like I said, I mean, these guys, they they're so experienced, they don't necessarily need to have everything covered. They just use these very handy, very powerful Pokemon, and they use them to their benefit in, you know, amazing ways, predicting, you know, changes, predicting moves, anything like that. You know exactly what their Pokemon, but also what other Pokemon can do, and that makes them the champion, right? And if not the champion, then, you know, at least, you know, one of the best in the world. So it's really, really cool. So that's kind of what their teams looked like. I won't be doing a battle, I think, today. It's just probably going to take a little bit too long. But now you kind of know what they look like, what the teams look like. I will leave a link in the description below from the actual battle. Also, I will leave a link into the description of what this particular site is. That way you can kind of give a little more in-depth look at some of the other ones they had as well. And not just masters, but also seniors, juniors, and if you look around a little bit more, TGC as well, and a lot of others, you know, that can, I don't know, can really enrich you. Singles, doubles, you can all find it here. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode here. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this episode, then like, subscribe, share with a friend, you know, all that fun stuff. I would really appreciate it. So if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. But you know, it's nice. So anyway, like I said, this is the last episode for this summer. Next week I will be back, so don't move. Well, I guess you can move. I'm going to be back next week, so that's going to take another week or so. But I'm going to be working again on this particular team. I have done a couple of changes in it, which I won't show you right now because I'm all out of time. But it's going to be cool because I have no idea if I'm, you know, going to be as strong as some of these as some of these guys, you know. But I really want to spend the time and make it as good of a team as possible. So I'm going to work at it, and I'm going to see what I can do, right? So again, we're going to be working on it, and it's just going to be a good time. So thank you all so much for watching. And, you know, I just wish everyone on the opposite side of the screen not only a wonderful day, but an excellent school year, right? Let's make this a good one, all right? So I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye!